So, yeah, a little impromptu here, but we'll see what we can do. I have this little book that I got several years ago. It's from the Mennonite Men organization called Wrestling with God. I think that refers back to Jacob. But it's got a number of readings in here by, I don't know, 4 or 5 different people that are, ways that they have wrestled with God. And I thought this one was appropriate for the kind of time that we're in. It talks about prayer. I imagine all of us have been praying recently about a lot of different things that are going on in the nation and the world. The scripture passage that he is drawing from here is 2 Kings 20, verse 5. God talking to Hezekiah after Hezekiah got ill and was pretty sure he was going to die. The Lord said, I have heard your prayer. I have seen your tears. Indeed, I will heal you. On the 3rd day, you will go up to the house of the Lord. So the author here says, when our 5-year-old son Jacob began to have frequent seizures, we prayed a lot. There was a special prayer service at our church for him. Friends and neighbors prayed. In the end, the doctor prescribed the right medication, and today Jacob is a healthy, happy 9-year-old. Our prayers seem to be answered. But God's answers to prayer are not always so simple. Other parents who prayed over their children in that same hospital experienced the death of their child. How does prayer work? It seemed to work for Hezekiah. He prayed for his health to be restored, and God granted that to him. In addition, God gives him another 15 years of health so he can serve God. But other biblical characters, including the Apostle Paul, are not granted their requests. Why do some of our intercessory prayers have happy outcomes and others not? As the story of martyrs in the Bible and church history attests, it's not clear that good outcomes are always the result of faithful living or more earnest prayers. Even though prayer is a great mystery, I continue to pray fervently for others and for myself, knowing that God does hear me out. God will hear my prayer of thanksgiving in good times. God will also hear my prayer of anger when things turn out bad. Whatever happens, I am in touch with God, which is prayer at its best, conversation in relationship. So it asks the questions here, what are you praying for today? What happens to your faith when the results are not what you think you're praying for? Anybody have any comments?
Hang in there, baby. Yeah, that's what faith's all about.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
It's a walk with God, even if we don't know what path He's leading us on. We know where we're going eventually.
So, this is what you were all supposed to be getting. Not a real one, plastic fork, and I grabbed the spoon, so I'm sorry. So we're going to set this up here so you can see it. So some of you have already heard this story. It's called Keep Your Fork. And I maybe should warn you that you might want to have Kleenex available, and if so, I'm sorry, but it needs to be said. So there once was a young woman who had been diagnosed with a terminal illness and had been given 3 months to live. So as she was getting her things in order, as she called it, she contacted her pastor and had him come to her house to discuss certain aspects of her final wishes. She told him which songs she wanted sung at the service, what scriptures she would like to read, and what outfit she wanted to be buried in. Everything was in order, and the pastor was preparing to leave when the young woman suddenly remembered something very important to her. "There's one more thing," she said excitedly. "What's that?" came the pastor's reply. "This is very important," the young woman continued. "I want to be buried with a fork in my right hand." The pastor stood looking at the young woman not knowing quite what to say. "That surprises you, doesn't it?" the young woman asked. "Well, to be honest, I'm a bit puzzled by the request," said the pastor. The young woman explained. "My grandmother once told me this story, and from that time on, I have always tried to pass along its message to others, to those I love, and to those who are in need of encouragement. In all my years of attending socials and dinners, I always remember when the dishes of the main course were being cleared, someone would inevitably lean over and say, 'Keep your fork.' It was my favorite part because I knew that something better was coming, like velvety chocolate cake or deep dish apple pie or cheesecake, something wonderful and with substance. So I just want people to see me there in that casket with a fork in my hand, and I want them to wonder, what's with the fork? Then I want you to tell them, 'Keep your fork, the best is yet to come.'" Whew, I just got goosebumps. Anyways, the pastor's eyes welled up with tears of joy. And as he hugged the young woman and said goodbye, he knew that this would be one of the last times that he would see her before her death. But he also knew that the young woman had a better grasp of heaven than he did. She had a better grasp of what heaven would be like than many people twice her age, with twice as much experience and twice as much knowledge. She knew that something better was coming. At the funeral, people were walking by the young woman's casket, and they saw the cloak she was wearing and the fork placed in her right hand. Over and over, the pastor heard the question, "What's with the fork?" And over he smiled. During his message, the pastor told the people of the conversation that he had with the young woman shortly before her death. He also told them about the fork and about what it symbolized to her. He told the people how he could not stop thinking about the fork, and told them that they probably would not be able to stop thinking about the fork either. He was right. So the next time that you reach for your fork, remember, the best is yet to come. Friends are a very rare jewel. They make you smile and encourage you to succeed. Cherish the time that you have with them and your family. And the memories that you share. Being friends with someone is not an opportunity, but a sweet responsibility. So, I challenge you today. Keep the fork, remember the best is yet to come, and share that with others. But I thought that was a great reminder to have faith, like Stan mentioned, to remember that there's always hope, no matter the circumstances that we're in, especially with everything going on now. And the best is yet to come because we get to go be with Jesus. How awesome is that?